Hey, it's Restless 80s here, and today we're going to be ranking the Dark Souls 3 bosses from a blind person's perspective. I am the blind person in question here, and you will probably see a golden summon quite often. He joins me for all of my boss fights, and I needed the co-op mod with my friend so I could actually make it through Dark Souls 3, not because I have that much of a skill issue, but because I can't fucking see. And I actually would not be able to make it anywhere in the game without him leading me with his bright golden ass. So if you want to invalidate all of my opinions because I needed somebody else to help me go through the game, that is your own opinion. One quick more thing before we get into the video. This is my vision, hence why I need a guide through the game. But apart from that, let's get right into it. Okay, coming in at number 18, we have Crystal Sage. Try fighting a boss that is fully based on colors as a blind person. Like, it's just not gonna work. Also, damage is stupid high considering where it is in the game, and it spams more often than an Elden Ring PvP mage. This boss has caused me so much pain and suffering, it's probably one of the main reasons why I don't play Dark Souls 3 consistently and never really feel the need to return to the game. Number 17, Osiris. If this malnourished, deranged father could shut the fuck up about his little ocelot so I could hear anything beyond his whimpering, this boss probably wouldn't be so bad. But even then, it still sucked. It's like fighting a 90-year-old crack addict who's still on crystal meth just to retain any strength of their former self. Becoming Helen Keller for an entire boss fight has never been something I enjoy, and this is exactly what this boss does to me. I already can't see, and then his constant rambling just makes it so I can't see with my ears for the rest of the fight. God awful, I hate it with every fiber of my being, and he's one of the reasons I don't fight Gundyr very often, even though Gundyr is one of the best bosses in the game. Number 16. High Lord Wolnir. This boss fight just feels like an old folks home. From how slow the attacks are to the poison breath that old dying people have. They made the boss look so cool just to say, nah. Let's make it hit them 3 little glowing bracelets. And let's not even touch on the skeleton summons, because we're just not going to touch on them. I really don't have anything else to say about this fight, because it's basically just a gimmick. There's not really any redeeming factors, and there's really not much to the fight in and of itself. Coming in at number 15, we have Groot with Cancer. This boss was designed for anybody who likes Dr. Pimple Popper. Just getting rid of some egg sacs on the tree, fall down a hole. That's it. That's the whole boss fight. It's ass. He summons little annoying enemies to poke at you, or I don't know. Am I really worried about misgendering a fucking tree? Whatever. Anyway, it's bad. Not as bad as the ones below it, but bad. Coming in at number 14, we have Wyvern. Honestly, I wasn't even sure if I was going to rank this as a boss, because it's kind of just Mario, and then you jump on the boss's head. That's really all the fight is, and I wasn't sure if I was going to rank it or not, but either way, I find the run up to the plunging attack more fun than all of the bosses below it, but I couldn't in good conscience give it any higher ranking than this. So, number 13, Alrich. Honestly, just kind of feels like any other mage in any other game. They just spam a lot. It's pretty annoying when they cast the fire, so when you're trying to attack them, you still get burnt. The raining arrow attack is almost unavoidable, very stupid. The boss is just kind of there. I never felt like there was much of a fight. It was more, I bonk you, you cast a spell on me, I bonk you, you cast a spell, I use an Estus flask, and then bonk you again. Didn't feel like a fight. It didn't feel like anything I was dodging actually was doing anything, and it kind of felt like I was just gonna face tank everything. I don't know, maybe I just needed to spend more time on this boss to figure out what was up with it. Please tell me, apart from lore significance, was I missing anything with this boss fight, or is that it? Number 12. Deacons. I mean, let's be honest, it's just lawn mowing simulator. There's not really anything to this fight, so there's not really much to comment on it. Sometimes if you don't have a wide sweeping weapon, the Deacons can be a little bit of an issue, and I'm pretty sure it's cursed that they hit you with, which can insta-kill you. But I don't think anybody's actually really died often in this fight. Number 11, Yorm. So Yorm the Giant is just a fun fight overall. I think the weapon, the Storm Ruler, is lots of fun to use. The charge up time can sometimes get you in trouble, and the animation is pretty long, but as long as you conserve your stamina, as long as you pay attention to your stamina, how much it's being used, pretty fun fight. Unfortunately, because he's a gimmick, I can't really place him any higher. Breaking the top 10, we have the Abyss Watchers. It's a gank fight. It's a gank fight. You get one extra Abyss Watcher that kind of helps you, but if you get too close to him, he'll beat the shit out of you too. So there's really not much going for the fight until phase 2. And phase 2 is phenomenal, but phase 1 really drags it down because it's just so hard to have fun during a gank fight, even if there is a good payoff for phase 2. I fall in love with potential, and I think if phase 1 and phase 2 were structured the same without the gank, it would easily be top 5. Number 9, Vort. Who gave this gerbil crystal meth? Oh, you like to see in a boss fight? Well, too fucking bad. His frost takes up 90% of the visible area. He's also a big boss, which is really annoying. Dude charges headfirst all over the place, and every attack seems like you could watch the director's cut of Fellowship of the Ring before it hits the fucking ground. Overall, this boss is just not that much fun for me, and the fact that he's super big makes it almost impossible for me to see him. I don't like this boss. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. Number 8, Nameless King. Now, his phase 1 is why he's this far down, because his phase 1 I can't hit his flying sky rat. It's super annoying, it's janky, the controls are horrible, and dodging his attacks doesn't really feel that good in phase 1. Now, phase 2 is phenomenal. He feels like an Elden Ring boss, but one of the good Elden Ring bosses. The speed, damage, and everything about his phase 2 is so good, but because of phase 1, he will never climb any higher. Because every single time I'm like, oh, I want to fight Nameless King, I'm like, no, phase 1 exists. Maybe I don't. Number 7, the Lothric brothers. Losing lock-on is the main issue in this fight. Apart from that, there's not really any other glaring issues. The little brother backpack could be kind of annoying sometimes, but really not that bad. Overall, the boss is it's pretty good. Some of the attacks hit like a train, but they're pretty slow and pretty easy to dodge. Also, you can parry him, which is kind of fun to do, but not very easy. Number 6, Old Demon King. He's kind of forgettable, and that's sad. He's got a really good fight with some really good AoE attacks. Sometimes his fire hitboxes are really janky though, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But he doesn't really do enough damage for that to be a huge problem. Again, the main problem is the fact that he's forgettable. Did you remember him? Because I didn't until I started recording for this video again. Number 5, Dragon Slayer Armor. A great back and forth fight with an appropriate sized enemy. God, does this game lack those. He's one of the few bosses that almost makes me enjoy Dark Souls 3. I don't really like the out-of-arena things that can slap you in the head while you're trying to fight him. That's quite annoying, and sometimes his arena feels a little bit too small for how aggressive he is, but it's still overall one of the best fights in the game. Number 4, Dancer. Honestly, nothing bad to say about this fight. It's well done. The back and forth dodging and hitting is very fun. The spin to win is a little bit annoying when she enters phase 2. Even with that attack existing, it's still just a fun fight where it feels like an actual fight. There's no gimmick, there's no gank, there's nothing. It's just a back and forth hit, dodge, hit, dodge. It's good. That's what Dark Souls is. Number 3, Pontiff. His combos are very fluid to dodge, and he has enough openings for you to do decent damage after his combos. Also, you can always parry him if you really need to, and bosses always get brownie points if you can parry them. There's honestly nothing that Pontiff does bad, and that's why I love his fight. It's another one of those just back and forth wheel of power fights. I like that. Number 2, Champion Gundyr. I can't even really describe exactly what I like about this fight because everything is so good. His movements are fluid, they're good to dodge, they have good openings, and they do a reasonable amount of damage. Every attack he hits you with feels calculated, what you would expect from a champion. It is exactly what I'm looking for in a boss. Also, we can parry him, which, as I said before, brownie points. Also, way too much fucking fun parrying him. Soul of Cinder is what a good final boss is. Elden Ring should have taken notes from Soul of Cinder when they made fucking Elden Beast. He has amazing combos, multiple styles, and his moveset is godly. He's not super big, so you can always see him. The fight plays more like an action movie rather than a fight. But that's a good thing. If you liked the video, please leave a like. It did take me a long time to edit this, record this, as well as I did go through Dark Souls 3 just to get the footage for these bosses, as I don't like tier lists for ranking videos. I feel like they're lazy and uninspiring. Also, I want to note that I have not played a lot of Dark Souls 3. I do have it platinumed, but I still haven't actually played that much of the game, so my build variety isn't really varied, and I haven't done much. Hope everybody has a great rest of their day, night, or whatever time zone they're in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Goodbye.